Hello Pisces, my name is Echo and thank you so much for joining me for your April 2025 tarot reading. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that we had a solar eclipse on March 29th, so the energy of that will be fresh. And I also want to put out there that happy spring. Spring is upon us, and there are a lot of conceptions about how spring came about and where Easter got its name. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out on my channel. It's an interesting thing to talk about the solar eclipse, and that spring video will be upon us very soon, if not there already at the time of this recording. So before I begin, just want to say thank you so much for joining me, and let's go ahead and see what spring has in store for you. You have from the Butterfly Oracle deck, Be True to You. So spring is all about renewal and rebirth. And this is also about what we find for ourselves. That solar eclipse that we just experienced was all about getting rid of any deceptions, anything that was holding us back, and releasing things, as eclipses are very good for doing. And it may have felt like a little bit of chaotic energy. And this can be doubled, even more so tripled, if we're working to jump through hoops to please other people rather than pleasing ourselves. This is your journey, Pisces, and it feels like you've been going through an emotional time with a lot of things that tug at your heartstrings in a personal way. We are in a Pisces North Node right now, so if you feel drawn to things that resonate with you on a soul level, that is natural. It's a very dreamy energy, and it's all about going after that which truly resonates with us, so it's a wonderful way to be. As you move into spring and you step into this new season, be sure that the decisions you're making are absolutely what your heart desires, and anything that is not, feel free to let that go. We do have responsibilities, I would like to point out, that don't always resonate with us 100%, but it's okay to make changes where we can and allowances to allow for a smoother transition into new phases of life. All right. Next, we have the Creator. This is a beautiful card to get. As you are looking to be true to yourself, I feel like you're looking to create not just new things, new projects, but a new way of being, a new you could say. Wherever doors close, it's a way for Spirit to open up new things for us to go down a different path, right? So I really feel like you're not waiting too much for a door to be open because it's already there, but you're creating how it is you want to step through and what you expect to see on the other side. And that's wonderful because when you manifest, we want to stay in a positive energy. What you think is what you create, as above, so below. The energy that you put out there is what's going to come back to you in real time. So be sure to keep your thoughts positive at this time. I feel like this is for someone specific. If you've been going through a hard time, it can be a little difficult to keep your head up. I know what that's like. I think we've all been there at some point or another, but do resonate with the things that bring you joy on the small scale, such as like music that you really enjoy to help you unwind, give yourself a nice spa day, enjoy your favorite snack, and just do whatever it takes to make yourself smile on the small level, and you'd be surprised just how quickly that can have a ripple effect. So you, the Creator, are starting something new, and let's see what the Moon Phase Oracle deck has to say about that. Next, you have nourishment. We were just talking about doing the things that bring you joy. Because if you're looking after yourself, and I love that there's a giant egg on this card. Eggs are all about what can be, what is expected, things that are to come, things like that, because obviously you're waiting for the egg to hatch. So you are looking at something and what you expect to come from it with a very hopeful energy. Like I can almost see somebody with like their hands clasped, like wishing on a star. So that may be someone, if you are absolutely wishing on a star and you spend a lot of time outside, go ahead and make that wish. Enjoy the time outside if that's what you like. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with stargazing at this time. But be sure to nourish yourself, Pisces. If you are going through and taking care of everyone and everything and juggling projects, be true to yourself and what it is you want to create and nourish that rather than taking care of everyone else, okay? That's what we tend to do in life. That's just the way we are, especially if you've got a big heart. And that's great, but be sure you're looking after yourself as well, because you can't fill cups from an empty pitcher. And those who truly appreciate you and benefit from your positive energy will benefit all the more if you are in a good mind space. So to start off this reading, you have the Five of Cups in reverse. The Five of Cups is more about an individual who has lost their taste for something. What used to please you no longer does. It's all about disappointment. But given that this card is in reverse, it's almost like you're saying, I don't really care how many cups have spilled out. This is just the energy coming from this card in this particular reading for you, Pisces. I don't really care how many cups have spilled out. I am going to make the best of my situation come hell or high water. And that's a great place to be because the world does have a method for keeping us down, a neck for kicking us when we're down. And you've been feeling your cup spill for a very long time. I feel like this has been prolonged. Every time you bounce back from something, something else comes your way. But that's life. I hate to say it. Everybody is always either in a problem, going into a problem, or coming out of a problem. Because anybody who says they've got everything is all sunshine and rainbows, there's nothing wrong, I'm sorry, but that's not realistic. They may have not dealt with anything for a while, and that's fantastic. But eventually, that's going to come up. So if something has been challenging you, if you have felt your cup spilled, feel free to refill those cups, nourish yourself, and just don't let them get you down because emotions are not who we are. We experience them and then we let them go. That's what we do. So next card you have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is all about standing your ground and fighting back whenever the energy doesn't work for you. Now, the individual in this card is sitting high atop the mountain, shouting at the sky with a wand in his hand and the other wands behind him. He is doing something quite dangerous. I wouldn't recommend standing out in a lightning storm with your hands out and a staff because you're going to get shocked. But the fact that he is standing out here and all these individuals are behind him, it's almost like he's doing his own thing and he's conjuring his own magic because I can really almost hear him just shouting spells into the sky. That's a very powerful energy to harness from nature. If you've ever seen a video of anything where lightning strikes a tree, it absolutely obliterates it, and it's such an awesome power. But a lot of people think when lightning strikes, it actually goes from the sky to the ground. If you look at the science behind it, the air is charged with the ions, and it's actually the reverse. The energy from the ground reaches up and spikes toward the sky where we can't see, and when the electricity follows that trail of ions, the light comes down and gives the appearance that lightning is striking from the air to the ground, which I guess you could affiliate with as above, so below, like we said. So if this is you standing your ground in the month of April, harness that, embrace that, and like we had in this card here with the butterfly oracle, be true to you, right? Challenge the energy, shout your spells. Next, you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is all about a passionate, fiery energy and that which you can create, okay? So while we have the fire sitting in the back of this staff, what can only be seen as like a effigy, I guess you could say, to a magical deity, the fire in the background is the spark of creation, and it holds everything else at a distance and says, this is what's here, I'm hearing sacred ground, okay? This staff will not be moved. This is here for a purpose. I am creating something wonderful. So this is your card, Pisces. I feel like this is your energy. Fire is tied to the heart space. So are wands. So if you see anything that pops up and really strikes a chord with you, any bright, fantastic new ideas that you really need to stand for and run with, I really feel like you're going to do that in the month of April. So what does Pisces maybe not see coming in the month of April? What does Pisces not see? The Empress in reverse. So the Empress is here, we'll turn this upright for this explanation. She is a mother-like figure who spins the wheel of the life she wants to create and looks after almost like her legacy as she holds the babe in her hands. She's a powerful, very fertile energy. In reverse, what you maybe don't see coming is where you're giving your power away and you've been unaware of it, but at this time it's going to come into your awareness. What can you create that you've maybe been held back from? What is possible that you maybe thought not possible in the past? And this may not be necessarily because someone else was holding you back or a particular situation. It may also be something you didn't realize yourself, because we're always learning the self. We're always discovering new things about ourselves. This is part of personal growth, and this is part of the journey. In this card, you have the rune Berkano on her spinning wheel, which points to beauty. So you are creating something beautiful at this time, Pisces. And I love this reading for you because it's going to be a beautiful revelation for you. What blessings does my Pisces have in the month of April? What blessings do you have, Spirit? You have the Four of Swords in reverse. Now, the Four of Swords is talking all about, excuse me, something being dead, done, over with, needing rest. We're, final rest, okay? But given that you have this in reverse, it's almost like you're not ready to be put out on that burning ship and set to rest yet. You realize the need to take downtime, but it's just a breather. I'm seeing like a person leaning against a wall before they continue running, like, ha, ha, you're puffing, and then you keep going. So that's going to be you in the month of April. You're unstoppable at this point. And swords are a very intellectual energy, communication, things we think, and could even deal with technology. But we are dealing with a Mercury retrograde into the second week of April. So as April rolls in, be sure you're saving your progress on anything that you're working on. But yeah, you're going to be in a headspace that has just a lot of ideas. You're going to be full of ideas, and you are blessed with this energy in the month of April. What advice do you have for my Pisces in April, Spirit? What advice do you have? I have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a feeling of not having enough, kind of being left out in the cold. And we have the rune of Nothes in the back here, and it is actually in reverse. So Nothes translates to not this, and it did come up in another reading. But the way this is reading in your advice is don't sell yourself short. I'm hearing those words specifically. Don't embrace the feeling of lack when you don't see results right away, because this is telling Spirit you want more of that same. Okay, Spirit doesn't hear I don't want this, I don't want that. It doesn't hear don'ts. Okay, when you're at a table ordering, we'll call this cosmic ordering, it's a familiar concept in the spiritual community. You wouldn't tell the waiter I don't want pasta, I don't want steak, unless you were waiting for their suggestions and you were 100% going to take their suggestion. We're talking about being true to yourself and creating and nourishing. So you're sitting at this table and you're telling Spirit, I want this, I want that. So just be sure that you're putting forward what it is you want when you're doing affirmations or prayers or things like that. And that is what's going to come your way. So let's just pull a rune for you here. And I do pull these at random, Pisces. And the rune you pulled is Ingwaz. Ingwaz is all about creation. It is the rune of spring, if you had to pick any one of them. And if you have another rune that you favor, put that in the comments below. I'd love to see what you have to say. I'd love to read that. But Ingwaz is all about creation, revival, renewal, and reaping the benefits from that which you've sown. Okay, so like picture a sprout coming up from a little seedling in the ground. So you are planting seeds, you are creating new things, and I love this reading for you, Pisces. April's going to be very interesting and very exciting. Stay positive. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Echo. I'll see you next time.